What's up, guys? Mudar True Good Development. I want to follow up on a video that I did a couple of days ago. Actually, maybe it's about a week now. It's on, the video was about return on equity versus cash on cash returns. One of the big things about this channel is building wealth, and that's what really most of my real estate dealings are about. It's not about getting rich, it's about building wealth. I want to get to the point where I have financial freedom to be able to do the things that I want to do for my family and be financially secure. I'm at the point now where my expenses and everything I do is covered by my cash flow. So I'm in a pretty good position, but I worked hard to get there. It took years to get there, and I'm sharing all that information with you guys. So it will take you probably half the time it took me to get to where I am today. So if you're serious about building wealth, if you're serious about having multiple streams of income, subscribe to the channel so you get all my videos, and comment me if you guys have a situation or if you want to ask me questions about certain things. Just comment me, just ask away. I'll be more than happy to share that information with you. All right, so let's get back to it. So we talked about return on equity versus cash on cash return. So how do we make our money work for us? And that's the main point here that I'm trying to make. So using my example that I used in the last video, and I think it went something like this. We got a property for $100,000. We know that property was worth, I don't know, I think maybe I said 150 on the market, so we got it for less. And we made some minor renovations on it. In any event, it's a hypothetical situation. And we know that it appraised, I think, I'm just making these numbers up, but just to round it up so it's easy for me to do the math while I'm driving, let's say it appraises at $200,000. So you know, you got the property for $100,000, you put in, let's say 25 grand or 30 grand into renovations, so you're 130 in, so you already have built-in equity of $70,000 in that property. So you go to appraise it, you appraise at 200, okay, and how do you make that money work for you? So at that point, I got one term for you that if you're not familiar with, you need to get familiar with very quickly. And if you are familiar with it, well, hey, this is a reminder for you. This is a wake-up call to go ahead and exploit that equity that you have built into your holdings, because that's what happened to me. I was comfortable for a while. I had all these properties sitting that were rich in equity, but I did not leverage. So two words actually for you: leverage and equity line of credit. Leverage and equity line of credit. Okay, you need to be very familiar with these. You need to beat the block, the pavement, to find a bank that will leverage the hell out of your property. Okay, so a case in point, let's go back to our example. You go to the bank, they'll agree to do a 75% LTV, and that is not uncommon, by the way. You can get 75 LTVs on your properties, and many banks will do it. The rates will be a little bit higher on equity lines of credit if this is an investment property. If this property is in your name, you'll probably get a higher LTV and you'll probably get a better rate. In my case, my properties are LLCs. They're investment properties, so my rate is a little higher. In any event, I'm not going to talk about rates because I don't want you to come back to me and say, hey, well, Mudar, you said I could get a 4% equity line of credit and all that kind of stuff. I'm not a bank. Call the banks. I'm giving you the sauce. I'm giving you the blueprint. You got to do the work. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to your bank. You're going to ask for an equity line of credit. So let's say they give you a 75%. You know what? Let's just make the math easier. What's 80%? Let's do 80% of 200. What's that? 160. I think that comes up to 160,000. If not, figure out the math. 160,000. Now, look at what happened here real quick. You were in on this property at what do we say? 100 plus 30,000 renovation, 130. So just like that, you got your money back plus some and you've leveraged your property. So again, it gets better, right? So you have access to $160,000 that you're not paying on until you actually pull that money and invest it. So you're renting the property, you're making money there, you have $160,000 sitting, waiting to be invested. Now, once you invest that, your rent, you got to make sure that whatever rent you charge for that apartment or that home or whatever is going to cover your interest. So again, just for the sake of math, let's say you get that equity line of credit at 7%, right? So you get a mortgage calculator, you figure 7% on a $160,000, let's say, for example, is going to be about $700, $800 a month. So hopefully where you're at, that rent that you get for that home is going to be more than $800. Maybe it's $1,000, maybe it's $1,200. So you could still make that cash flow. You could make your money work for you to grow. So now you have that $160,000, you go get your other property and you repeat the same process. And that's what you got to do to supercharge your growth process. If you're not leveraging, you have that equity sitting in that home for years and years and years. Keep that in mind, whatever your strategy is. If your strategy is maximizing cash flow and growth, this is what you ought to be doing. Guys, if you like the content, like the video, please subscribe, share it with your friends, and let me know what your experiences are. Have you done equity lines of credits? What has that done for you, and how did that help you grow your business? All right, guys, thanks for watching. See you on the next one.